Hey, what's up, everybody? Still don't have Zane
Sound
back
drunk.
due to... I mean, aren't you?
Maybe. No.
But,
I don't know.
still don't have Zane for this, mostly due to his work schedule. Don't know if we've mentioned that on the channel before. Probably not. Sometimes we just let him disappear for long stretches and let people in the comments freak out about it. One person theorized that the librarian ate him.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how it happened.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
He just didn't return his library books on time, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help at one point when I sold his soul to her.
See?
That was quite the experience. And Tom's sick with something. Don't know what. Maybe just a 24-hour bug.
No, he got the Rona.
That fucking Rona. Anyway, we're continuing with fucking Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles. You know, it just occurred to me. I wonder how many people like listen to this thing and don't know what like the actual abbreviation for the title stands for. Because like I used to actually say it as part of the intro, but then kind of just stopped at some point because it never felt natural. I mean, there's a playlist that has the full name.
Acronym. Yeah, the acronym just looks like WAWR, like a really weird way of saying like WAWR.
With a question mark. WAWR?
With a question. WAWR?
House? But I guess for anyone who doesn't know, it's What Are We Reading?
I asked myself that.
The main reason why I never have that full title in is, you know, because character limit.
Oh, character limits. Why can't we go back to the old days of Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco, where instead of you saying the name of the song, you just referenced a few lines because no one could ever remember the full name of the song?
Well, we had that, and then both groups kind of just sold out. But we're continuing with the thing I just said. We're on chapter 11, a challenge, because all of these have exclamation marks.
A challenge of what? Death? Life?
I don't know.
The unknown?
Last time I was challenged to anything, a lot of people died. I won, maybe. I don't remember. Kind of blacked out.
This just in, he's actually a ghost.
But yeah. Author's note. Hello, friends. Writing class is going quite well, and I stayed after this time to talk to the teacher about my little story, which he has been so kind about helping me with. He has had a lot of helpful suggestions.
Sorry.
Lots of very helpful suggestions, and I truly think that I have been guided to this class by a purpose greater than my own. Mine.
So, Satan?
I mean, that is what some call me.
So, another thing that I've gotten so many messages about, the Slytherins. People are saying that somehow this means I hate Catholics. Friends, I do not hate the Catholics at all. All I want is
Are you sure about that?
Right. All I want is for the Catholics and everyone else to go to heaven and be happy with God. Do you want to know who truly hates Catholics? The so-called Catholic Church. Ironic.
Wait, would you want the so-called Catholic Church? ¿Por qué?
Nani? But think about it. Why else would they lie to Catholics about salvation? And don't you know their leader is a socialist? I don't think she understands what socialism really means.
Most people who throw around the word socialist don't know what socialist means.
True. It seems like a certain someone doesn't know much about the Bible or the Constitution.
Well,
Considering that the Pope is in Rome, why the fuck would he need to know about the U.S. Constitution? The Vatican has its own means of things.
The Vatican City is its own country.
Yeah.
Its own sovereign nation. What does the Constitution have to do with anything?
Oh fucking hell. Okay, I'm going to apologize to any Catholics actually listening to this before I read this next sentence. Because again, this is the author note and not my views or opinions. And so, with that, back to what the lovely Grace Ann has been saying. And what about there being only one God?
His name
and
is
no
Llytic.
others. Okay. So if any Catholics are reading this, I'm asking you this in love. Consider which is more important, your so-called religion or the truth. Again, to any Catholics listening to this podcast, I apologize. That was the lovely Grace Ann, not my opinion.
The truth of the one true Llytic.
And then you have that crackhead. Anyways.
Harry, Hermione, Dean, Thomas, and Ronald all walked solemnly back to the main campus. They could hardly believe what they had just read. Voldemort? On their campus? Yes.
Yes.
What would they do if they ran into him? Oh. They quickly went to their dorms and got to sleep.
They got to sleep? They were given permission to sleep? How wonderful.
I'm never given permission to sleep. Would explain the hallucinations.
I have no idea what you just said. You cut out again.
Most people don't seem to.
Oh, goodness gracious. The next morning, the four little ones sat together for breakfast. The spread today was truly delicious. Fluffy scrambled eggs, crispy bacon, home fries, grits, waffles, apples, orange juice, and iced tea. Truly, the blessings today were abundant. Who the fuck drinks iced tea at breakfast?
Americans?
No!
I mean, Americans are like the only group that drinks iced tea.
I mean, yes, but I've never met anyone drink like iced tea, sweet or unsweet, at breakfast, ever. The only tea I've ever met anybody I've ever met, known, whatever the fuck I ever drink at breakfast is like Earl Grey or another type of breakfast tea.
Yeah. Honestly, I was more just kind of wanting to make a joke off the term home fries, as opposed to away fries. I am the peak of comedy.
Oh, so funny. So funny.
Yes. I can't believe Voldemort has been seen on our own campus, Harry whispered after swallowing a bite of bacon. Yeah, it typically takes me a lot of energy to swallow bacon, depending on how poorly it's made.
Bacon.
Okay,
Why she? No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I am not okay.
Deep breaths.
The
No, that's quite shallow, actually. Again, too rapid to really be deep.
Neither can I, Dean Thomas commented perceptively. Why does she use his full name?
No. This is like one of the weirdest running gags I've seen in a while.
Like, she uses his full name, and then Ronald. Ugh.
Like, these are feeling almost like Night Vale gags. Like, you know, the farmer.
The farmer.
It's been a while since I've listened to that. I kind of need to get back up to date.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm scared, Hermione murmured, fidgeted with her fork. What if he tries to kill Harry?
What the fuck? That was just like a fucking 20-degree turn. All of a sudden, apparently Voldemort, with no fucking reason in this, wants to kill Harry again. Like, no freaking reason, just, what if he tries to kill Harry? Like, okay.
Oh, of course, because no matter
hell.
what, Harry's the center of the universe.
Damn fucking straight.
I'd rather not, but okay. You okay there?
Mm-mm.
I believe it's still your. I believe it is now your line.
Yeah, I know. You just caught me at a weird moment where I was kind of choking on my own saliva.
Been there before. It's usually when people won't give me permission to sleep.
This just in. When Llytic's not given permission to sleep, he starts foaming at the mouth and drooling like a mad dog.
I mean, I kind of just lose the ability to control a lot of my functions when I'm not allowed to sleep. It kind of comes with not being able to sleep. And then the hallucinations set in.
Whee! Anyways, here we go. It will be fine, Harry declared boldly, and then gave her hand a reassured squeeze. And then they both blushed.
Yeah.
Stop sexualizing children.
Fucking hell. Oh, those spices are not agreeing with me.
Spicy boy.
Don't snort a canister of gunpowder, folks. Texas gunpowder, not just regular gunpowder.
No, it's gotta be.
You're not supposed to use regular gunpowder to season your food. You're supposed to use Texas gunpowder because that's ground up jalapeno peppers, although they do have a habanero variety now.
Oh my god. So, my roommate made his own chili powder. No, not chili powder, curry powder.
Oh,
Put a whole bunch of really spicy stuff, spicy, strong
Spicy
stuff
ass
together
curry.
In a blender to make the curry powder. And opened it and basically fucking tear gassed the entire house. Like, we had to have all the windows and doors open for a bit.
That's how you know it's good.
That thing stays in a very tightly sealed jar, and if he's going to cook with it, he takes whatever pot he's putting all the ingredients in and that jar outside to measure it out, tightly seals everything and stirs it in before taking everything back inside, because we're not going to have a fucking repeat of that again. It's bad.
Let's see. What are the four of you gossiping about? A voice said. It was smug, and it came from behind them.
Oh, baby.
Oh
Oh, God.
my.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I just, burped and then choked on a smaller burp. I feel violated.
Try not to die now.
I'm already dead. See. Harry turned around and he saw Draco standing behind him. Draco's hands were folded and rested on his stomach.
Is Draco pregnant?
It just made me think of I'm gonna try to stand all prim and proper and hide the fact that I have a tummy you want me ache.
Oh, yeah, his hand. Oh. Okay, both of his hands are on his stomach. All I can just imagine is that stereotypical hand on stomach pose that you tend to see with that sort of thing.
Behind him stood two other young men, dressed the same as Draco: tan pants, brown sweater vest, and white button-up shirts. Gay.
Is Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles secretly an Omegaverse story?
It's like a meme my friend sent me one time, and it was like normal people. I made her cream her panties. Cultured people, I made her produce a lot of slick.
Oh.
I was like, no.
Okay, that's a lot more disconcerting than stories about male pregnancy.
Oh yeah, impreg. Oof. Yeah.
That's what the whole Omegaverse thing is.
So the thing is with the Omegaverse is they do have a lot of impreg in there, but there's also just stuff where there's not impreg. And there's also a lot of intersex type stuff where guys get pregnant, but they have female. I don't understand it all. And yet I've still read them. I'm just a lot of the times I'm I just like reading them for all the nice, fluffy, sweet goodness. And then when the sex scenes come, I'm like, okay, all fluffy goodness again.
It's kind of like with shifter romance stories.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's not all bad. I will say, I did find it funny, because Dominic Noble, he's a book reviewer. The main thing he does is called Lost in Adaptation, which is about comparing, adaptations to the source materials they're made based on. And he did a whole thing of looking at different Omegaverse books. And it turns out that the person who gave him the recommendations is the same person he asked for fact-checking during his review of the 50 Shades series. So he's apparently relatively good friends with a member of the BDSM community who reads a lot of Omegaverse stuff in her spare time. Did I cut out? Okay.
No, you're still here.
It's just one of those things, he mentioned that, I was like, wait. Okay.
Aren't time zones amazing? In Australia, it's tomorrow. In Europe, it's tonight. And in the US, it's 1942, where minorities, women, and LGBT are still under assault by old white men.
Oh, boy. Okay, we were discussing something we read in the newspaper, Harry said friendly. Would you like to join us? Just thinking about this one thing, Kirio Quinn did an interesting, video essay on the whole thing with, Draco Malfoy. That's kind of worth looking at.
What?
Like, actually a full analysis of his characterization and all that.
Huh. Fun.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
interesting.
let's see. Who the fuck uses that word? Okay. Draco
Who's
chortled
the fuck?
pompously. I think not. You may be comfortable with dining with women outside of your family, but I am not. And I know that I am better than women. Why would I want to talk to one?
I mean, I don't really have women inside my family. Most of my family has left hundreds of years ago.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me started on the fact that my dad left about 3,000 years ago saying he was looking for a pack of smokes. That raises a lot of questions, honestly, that I still haven't been able to figure out the answers to.
Yeah. And it looks like you get to read another one of Grace Ann's weird little
Diatribes?
tangents. Mm-hmm.
Harry gritted his teeth. He had had enough of this. So-called feminists these days call everything sexist. Well, there's an easy way to not get called sexist. By not being sexist. That's gonna piss someone off. A man respecting his woman, whoa, and providing for her, and giving her the children and home that she truly desires is called women hating. Okay, one. His woman. Ew. I feel the need to rip off my own skin after having read that phrase. Also, maybe she don't want children. Such silliness can make us forget what real sexism looks like. Referring to people as property? The truth is, women are just as smart as men, and God made us as their equals, but equal does not mean the same.
What? But that's it!
There was another group that said the same thing. That was used to justify school segregation. And when we treat men and women as being the same and tell women to go to work all day and forget about their true calling as a wife and mother, then that is the real woman hate. No?
No!
Again, I know that the true author of this is a troll and that this is the character of Grace Ann. But well, it's a whole thing. No one is forcing women to go get a job. It's making it to where they have the choice to. It's giving them the option. If you want to be a stay-at-home spouse, go ahead. It's not really viable in this economy, but go ahead. It's if you're not acting on your own choice, but instead the choices of the people around you, that it becomes a problem. If you're not acting on your own agency, but instead of that of others, then something is not good about your life situation.
Yep.
And then there are people like Draco who think God messed up and made women worse than men, and neither is okay. A lot of biblical texts say that like childbirth pains and periods are in fact punishment for women for the actions of Eve.
Which, to that, I say, fuck you, let me kick you in the nuts.
I
not
prefer
you
didn't,
people who,
at least not unless
you.
I'm paying you. Or you're paying me. There's got to be a money transaction at some point for that to happen.
You know what I meant. I know you're not one of the I meant it to the people who fucking say that shit, not you, you little shit. God, I hate you.
You love me.
That's debatable. Alright, so you finished your weird
Yes.
tangent?
Oh my god, this statement.
Okay. That's a mean thing to say. Harry screamed bravely as he banged his fist on the table so hard that the paints bounced.
Harry Potter, the true white knight. Being so brave in his standing up for women. Whether or not they ask for it or ask for help or not.
Oh gosh.
Snape looked over in their direction and saw the commotion that was going on at that moment. He was dressed very dapperly today in a freshly pressed dress shirt and practical pants that complemented his long, muscular legs perfectly. Ah, okay, so you're a leg woman. Got it.
No, she's a leg and chest hair woman, remember?
I mean, to each their own. I've went for weirder.
You gonna finish your line?
Oh wait, I did not finish my line. Above the top button of his shirt was into the thick carpet underneath.
I told you!
Woo!
I told you!
Yeah, I like my orc women the same way. You know, that mid-tit ruff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I will say, I do always find it entertaining with, like, orc women or whatever, wherever that is, like, a drawn-in aspect. It's like, you know what? That doesn't look terrible. It depends on how you draw it. The fuck am I? He was carrying with him a big, heavy King James version of the Bible as he sauntered across the cafeteria.
Oh, sauntering. Ooh, baby.
Oh, my.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Lero.
Sauntered. Yes, sauntering. What exactly is going on here? He questioned, folding his arms over his hairy chest.
And now I'm just imagining him doing, like, that stereotypical anime girl pose of just, like, pushing the tits together, so it's just, like, pushing his pecs together so, like, his chest hair is just more prominent.
Yes.
With a gas... Oh, wait, nope. Nothing! Draco muttered in an embarrassed voice of one who knows he has done wrong, but Harry boldly and honestly retorted, Draco was being a bully to the ladies.
Oh, Draco, how dare you be a bully to the ladies?
You're only supposed to bully the men.
What the? Nothing, just add at the bottom of the page. Are you seeing the same one I'm seeing?
No, I've got Valorant.
Oh. I've got a customized diet plan with a very, very, very muscular black man with his underwear peeking over the top of his pants.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, like... There you go. Anyways, where to go? With a gasp, Greg. Who the fuck is Greg?
I believe he's Steven Universe's dad.
I think she meant to put Snape, but named him Greg.
Whoa, wait a minute. No, this description doesn't seem quite like it fits Snape. Maybe. I don't imagine that this version of Snape would have, as it states, delicate hands.
It's so delicate. Covered his mouth with his delicate, long-fingered hands. Ooh, what is he, like, salad fingers or some shit?
I don't know. I remember that descriptor being used a lot for Christian Grey. Not the delicate part. Long fingers.
Detention, Draco. We, as Christians must be respectful of women and treat them with the gentleness they deserve as our mothers and sisters and daughters.
I'm a smash X. I'm a smash X to doubt. Mr. Snape grabbed Draco's wrist and led him out of the cafeteria. Harry smiled holily at the sanctimonious fool. Draco shook his fist. A few things to unpack there. That cut out? Okay, no.
No. I'll get you for this, Potter. Tonight, after dinner, in the courtyard, we'll have a pray-off.
A pray-off!
A pray-off.
A pray-off! Oh, boy.
Don't you know, that's how all the hip young Christians settle arguments these days.
I mean, that is why I tend to catch fire on Wednesdays. Author's note, blessings. On to chapter 12.
Oh, fuck
Chapter
everything.
12.
Chapter.
Chapter 12, chapter 12.
House.
You got house? I
House.
got World of Warships. I believe it is your line. Oh, and now that ad popped in. That is quite the ponytail on that. Like, dread ponytail on that, man.
Author's note. Hello,
Some
friends.
pipes to him.
I have this.
Just talking about his biceps.
Oh, okay. Hello, friends. I had this chapter all ready to go a week ago after class last Saturday, but then, of course, things got in the way like they always seem to. But now that things have slightly settled down here at Fort Parsons, I thought I would finally post this. That's my dead inside voice.
Yeah.
It's the same voice I
like
used.
My ex.
I'm like, that's
He
the voice
always
I
was a bit
used when
off.
I worked customer service.
Oy. Yeah, that checks. The campus was dark when Harry, Hermione, Dean Thomas, and Ronald walked out of their dormitories. It was completely silent because all the little ones were asleep. And apparently none of them snored. The power of God magic, apparently. The bright shining stars twinkled approvingly at the righteous young Christian trio.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say gay again. Like, the righteous young Christian trio. Gay?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
I'm nervous, Ronald uttered shakily. Isn't this against the rules?
Someone send this Ron back to the factory. He's defective.
Right.
Ron would not care about the rules. Hermione would. Ron would very much would instead be more preoccupied with helping Harry because those two were thick as thieves, especially in the books, less so in the movies.
Damn right.
Well, part of that also has to do with the fact that in the movies you don't have Harry's inner monologue. For instance, his constant mentioning, like early on, his constant mentionings of Hermione being shrill.
Yeah.
The only reason why in the movies he seems to have more in common with Hermione is the fact that they don't talk a lot. Like, Harry is very much not a very talkative person. Ron and Hermione both are, partly because they are both two very argumentative people, which is kind of why they get along so well.
Right.
Is kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
Anyway. Harry, Dean Thomas, and Hermione exchanged a knowing look. It wasn't Ronald's fault. It was just how he was raised. Slytherin hats do not usually question authority. You just earlier mentioned that questioning authority is a bad thing. They think they just need to do what the head Slytherin hats tell them to. They never think that maybe the Lord's work is important. Question everybody. I don't care if they're a god. The gods are not above criticism.
This is the Lord's work, Harry explained patiently. This is more important.
We're on a mission from God.
Oh.
Blues Brothers. That's right, Dean Thomas said wisely, and not a single word was mispronounced. It's a running joke. Fucking hell. Oh shit, that's... Well. He had dressed quite respectably for the occasion. His face was scrubbed quite cleanly. Any mommy would have been proud to have him for her son.
You just cut out a lot.
Well, shit. Let's see. He had dressed quite respectably for the occasion. His face was scrubbed quite cleanly. Any mommy would have been proud to have him for her son.
Yay.
Your son calls me mommy, too. That might be one of the most cursed things I've ever said.
Yep.
I have said some cursed things, but oh boy. Your line.
Oh, Ronald murmured wonderingly. He had never thought that anything could be more important than following rules, not even the Lord's work. Ronald was starting to ask the big questions, questions which may just lead him to salvation. Just think what would have happened if Harry had not known to love the sin and not the sinner.
Well, so this is not the time, Tinder.
Still cheating on me, you hoe.
I mean, I've always been a hoe. Since I was hatched all those millennia ago. Just then, Draco stepped out from behind a tree. He was wearing yet another sweater vest, and he was proudly sporting a Ravenclaw hat.
Well, then... Oh, sorry. Well, Potter, Draco drawled smugly. Looks like you came to the pray-off after all.
Scared, Potter.
And Potter replies, Harse.
Little bit. That's right, Harry said courageously.
Oh, heavens. Okay. Well then, Draco grinned self-righteously. Let's pray.
I think that acid I dropped before this is kicking in. Harry and Draco got down on their knees and raised their hands to the sky.
I'll go first because God loves me best. Draco declared confidently. With that, he shouted, "Dear Lord, if you agree with me that women are stupid and Potter is wrong, please strike him down where he kneels." What the
Dean Thomas and Ronald gasped. Hermione began to cry, but Harry did not flinch. He knew he was a man of the Lord.
Draco grinned viciously as he looked to the sky for a bolt of lightning, but none came. His eyes widened and his jaw dropped, and he began to cry.
What? Wait. Now it was Harry's turn to pray. Yep, that acid's definitely kicking in. This definitely can't be a thing that someone wrote. This is just all a hallucination.
Then how come I'm seeing it?
I don't know. Maybe you snuck into my stash.
I'm totally not in your closet tripping out right now.
I was wondering what you were doing over there.
Okay.
Or anything you're sending at me.
He raised his hands far higher than Draco's has been, and he screamed in a voice far louder than Draco's has been. Dear Lord, if you agree with me that women are just as good as men, but just different, please. For a second, he thought about asking for Draco to be struck down. But then he was overcome with mercy. Please make him a Gryffindor hat.
Yes. I was going to have him be struck down, but instead we'll just forcibly brainwash him.
That's the true Christian way.
That's better. I'm having flashbacks to see me dance. In that moment, the hat on Draco's head changed into a red and yellow one with a lion on it, and the tears began rolling down his face. And the tears rolling down his face were not sad tears. They were happy tears. The crowd of onlookers burst into applause, but Harry did not notice all the cheering students and teachers. He was bathing in the love of the Lord. He's just a child. It's very no. Fucking hell.
Author's note. Blessings.
I don't feel very blessed.
Nope.
After
all I
13,
can
a
think
visit
of
to the Hogwarts.
Like, all I can think of with this bathing in the love of the Lord is like God just fucking gave Harry a golden shower or some shit.
I mean, my mind went to a place that was probably even worse, but yeah.
Oh, do tell.
Divine Bukkake.
You know, I was thinking that, but then I was like, you know what? I shouldn't say that. Maybe I should go slightly less disturbing. But nope, we were on the same page.
Couple of dirty old perverts.
Oh yeah, baby. All day, air day.
Hello, friends. Many of you have notified me about the the typo in the last chapter. Oops. I was feeling so confident in my newfound writing skills last class, and I didn't think I needed to ask the teacher to full proofread. Once again, oops. I guess this just goes to show that Proverbs 16:18 applies to us all. Smile. And that, friends, is why this chapter is so late going up. I waited to post until Greg had a chance to look over it in detail.
Say
Oh
Proverbs.
my god, is Greg the teacher?
Probably.
Is
Proverbs
she hot for
16,
teacher?
8, oh, apparently. But yeah, Proverbs 16:18, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Because she accidentally put Greg in front instead of, like, one name. Possibly Snape. And she's, like, describing Snape as, like, her fetish.
Oh yeah,
Is she hot for Greg?
probably.
He says I am definitely improving, but he still did have some suggestions. Hope you all enjoy. Yeah, so maybe tone down the sexism? Just staring into his chest hair as he's saying this, none of it registering.
Okay, let's see. The cheering crowd converged on the two righteous boys. They were led by Dean Thomas, Hermione, and Ronald. Hermione reached Harry first. Joyful tears were streaming down her face, and her lacy pink skirt was swirling around her legs. When she reached Harry, she wrapped her delicate arms around him in a chaste hug.
There's a lot of that made me uncomfortable. I was so scared,
Good.
she whispered tearfully. I was really concerned that you were about to get struck by lightning.
Harry pulled away and patted her reassuringly. He told her, "There is nothing to be afraid of. Not when we are on the side of righteousness, Uwu."
Turns out that just, like, right when Draco, like, had made that prayer, like, Zeus accidentally tripped on his own ego. Dropped the lightning bolt that hit Harry.
Like, oops.
I mean, we do know that Poseidon swung both ways. Zeus only seems to have went after women, though, so... I don't know. Anyway. Dean Thomas stepped forward and gave him a very polite handshake. Wait, no. Hermione grinned admirably and exclaimed, "You were so brave!"
Whoa. No.
The brave thing?
No.
Or
No.
what next?
The line I have to read. Yeah, the line I have to read.
Boy!
Yeah. Harry smiled humbly and blushed and rubbed the back of his neck like a shy schoolboy. He didn't know why. He didn't know why, but he felt so different around her than other people. Perhaps it was because she was so godly, but Harry felt that it might have been more than admiration that he felt. What was the word? He couldn't quite put a finger on it.
Bad writing, I believe.
Oh, very bad writing.
Also, hand on the back of his neck like a shy schoolboy. He is a schoolboy. Shaped like what it is. Dean Thomas stepped forward and gave him a very polite handshake. "Amazing job out there," he commented intelligently.
He's supposed to sound like amazing job out there, Harry. Yuck.
You know, I gotta say, you didn't do quite bad of a job yourself out there, honestly. Honestly, I have no room to talk considering the fact that I will occasionally use terms like weren't.
Oh, fuck everything. Fuck everything.
I'd rather not. That sounds exhausting.
Fuck everything.
I don't have enough time in my schedule.
Oh my Jesus H motherfucking Christ. Alright, anyways, let's keep going. Alright, Harry smiled humbly. It was the work of a power greater than my own.
I mean, we did just suddenly see his hat change color. Weird.
We just suddenly saw color.
His hat changed color. I
Oh,
guess
well,
that
you
is
cut
kind
out
of
and all
weird.
you cut out, and it just and all I heard from you was he suddenly saw color.
Well, yeah,
like,
didn't
what?
you know Harry's been colorblind this entire time? It's one of the many symptoms of atheism. One of the lesser known ones. Let's see. Dean Thomas shook his head in admiration of how humble Harry was being. Truly a light was shining in this little one. Well, that's what happens when you swallow a flashlight. Don't ask me how I know this.
And suddenly the Lord Michael Jackson joined us.
Whoa. That
Just
one
so
might
you
cause
see,
some issues.
That's how you sounded. You're like,
Yeah, I did make the Michael Jackson noise. It was just the phrase "the Lord Michael Jackson" makes me kind of uncomfortable. That fills me with dread, and I don't know why.
Ronald was next in line. Tears were streaming down his face, and his nose was running down to his chin. He wiped his face with a big,
He might want to
freckled
get that
hand.
back on his face.
He stuck out the other one for Harry to shake. Harry generously returned the action.
That was amazing! Ronald sobbed honestly. How do I be as holy as you?
Harry, Dean Thomas, and Hermione exchanged a knowing look. Maybe, they suggested, it has something to do with the hat on your head.
That's, it's a bit of an odd one. Ronald got a thoughtful look on his face. His many siblings that were too many for two parents to care for did not like the look of that. You know, that could easily be fixed with proper sex education. I mean, not posthumous, not like after the fact. You can't fix that after the fact. Not saying that I've tried. But you can't exactly just. Altogether, they walked over and grabbed Ronald and pulled him away. Harry, Dean Thomas, and Hermione were sad, but they all hoped in their hearts that their words of truth would plant seed and grow. How about you not plant seed in the small boy? I am just full of cursed comments today.
Oh, yeah. This is what happens when it's just me and you.
Like, I am not usually this cursed.
Look, we bring out the worst in each other, and
Yes,
this
we do,
is why
yeah.
this is why we're usually not allowed to be alone together. Because the world will literally burn.
I mean, that and the bodies last time.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
So fun. Before they could think too much about that, a car pulled into the parking lot. It did not look like the car a busy mommy or daddy would have. No, this was a small, so-called eco-friendly car. Oh, the horror.
Because if you ain't fucking the environment, you ain't Christian.
Dean Thomas and Hermione looked at it suspiciously. They did not know what would come of it, but they got the feeling that it would not be someone good. Because God forbid you drive a
I'm not
car to
like
care about the environment.
I'm just very uncomfortable with how often Grace Ann has been using the terms mommy and daddy. The internet has ruined those words for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, where the feck is that? The car stopped. The door opened. A man stepped out. He was tall and pale-skinned. He was a younger man, with only a thin layer of hair hidden underneath his shirt.
He's got a chest hair fetish, I'm telling you.
I mean, I will say, I don't think I've ever known anybody like IRL to be like, look at that hairy chest, that's nice. Like, again, like, depending on the artist, that can be done in a way that's aesthetically pleasing. But outside of, like, character art, I've yet to see it.
Finish your line, you crackhead.
Did I not finish my... yes, right. He was wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants and sneakers.
Oh, how horrible.
I mean, I personally prefer jeans, but that is just me.
No one seemed to take much notice of him, but then the Reverend's wife stepped out onto the scene. She screamed, she fainted. At the sound of her cry for help, the Reverend Dumbledore came running to the rescue. So many so-called right
Dear fucking
people
gods.
think that Ephesians 5:22 to 25 is just about wives being submissive. What they don't talk about is that it is also tells husbands to sacrifice for their wives. Wow, doesn't that sound oppressive? When he saw the man who'd gotten out of the car, he stopped and gasped, and then he shouted, "Stand back, Voldemort! Stand back, students! This is Voldemort himself."
Stand back, Voldemort. There are children here that might hurt you. Okay, that second part of Ephesians, that Ephesians 5 verse. I don't really consider the whole submission to another person to be an equal trade-off of, in the slim possibility of a life or death situation, they might die for you.
Yeah. So
that's not exactly a fair trade-off.
Yeah, I know. So what is it? Ephesians 5:22 through 25. Wives, submit unto your husbands as unto the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it.
Not exactly a fair trade-off.
No.
Quite possibly the worst deal in all of deal history.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, author's note, blessings, and then Proverbs 16:18 and Ephesians 5:22 to 25. So we're going to end up finishing this without anyone else, is the funny thing, because 14 is the last chapter.
They are both very glad that they did not have to be part of this.
Bravely defeating the foe. Author's note. Hello, friends. I have some news. What is this accent turned into? Oh god, it started to go Slavic. That's what we're going to go with, comrades.
Hmm.
I have some news, and I know that it might be disappointing to the mummies out there. My husband and I had a very long talk last night, and he doesn't think posting my writing online is going to classes is a good idea for our family. It was a hard decision for me to accept, but he does know best. I want to thank all the many righteous believers who have supported me in this little mission of mine. And I hope that this last chapter ties up the loose ends as best as one chapter can. Okay, for one, husband's a dick. Honestly, that's all there is to say about that, really.
Oh, God.
This story is further contributing to my therapy bill.
Yay! What? 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 What?
What?
What? No. Okay,
What?
I'm sorry. I'm dying. Okay, so
We're all dying.
Harry,
just at different rates.
Harry gasped, and Dean Thomas gasped too, and Hermione burst into tears as Voldemort
keeps doing that
through the parking lot. The enormous crowd of righteous students were nervous, but they still stood boldly in the face of such horrifying evil.
What's he doing, Patrick? He's standing there menacingly.
Dumbledore stood in front of them protectively and manfully beat my chest. I am man, hear me roar.
Ow, my tits.
That just sounded like you were fapping.
I think that it would have been a bit more of a slapping sound.
That's how it sounded to me. It sounded very much like a noise.
I hope it was just fist against my tit. Harry looked at the depraved man walking toward them, and he thought of all the lies that he must have been told by evolutionists and feminists all his life. And he thought of all the empty, meaningless depravedness that he must have done to distract himself from that missing love in his life. Okay, now you're just calling me out. Much like the proverbial donkey from the Brothers Grimm's fairy tales, I do have to rip my skin off to have sex, but that's a personal choice, and I'll have you know that.
Aye.
And he thought of how one day he would die, and that there would not be happy heaven. There would be no happy heaven for him. Only the flames of hell. I mean, this is what happens when you prioritize following a deity over being a good person.
Yep.
Not good things.
No.
Harry wondered how anyone could be so stupid. Who would want hell more than heaven? That's not how that works. It's more just, I don't really need paradise in order to be able to be a good person. The promise of paradise to be a good person. I'm okay with oblivion. It made Harry so angry.
How angry, Harry? Ow.
How angry is he?
Womp.
Womp, womp, womp.
Harry, sorry, not Harry. Voldemort stopped walking when he was in front of the Reverend Dumbledore. He arrogantly nodded and said, "Hey, my name's Tom Riddle, and I'm here to visit my cousin. Which way to the guy's dorm?"
Enough of your lies, Dumbledore exclaimed bravely. We know who you are.
Why do I have a feeling that literally Voldemort is not who they're trying to say he is, and is just a stupid kid on like YouTube or some shit. Like, I'm gonna die if that's literally all he's been this entire time. Voldemort blinked stupidly, and then he uttered childishly, "I'm sorry, what?"
Dumbledore smiled smartly. You're pretending to be dumb. I see. Well, I'm not stupid. We all know how much. We know all about how much you hate Christians.
What? What? I don't hate Christians, Voldemort lied dishonestly. What are you even talking about?
Okay.
Mm.
You're still pretending to be dumb, the Reverend pointed out truthfully. We know all about your plot to legalize Christianity, Voldemort. I'm having a breakdown.
Voldemort blinked stupidly again and questioned evilly, "Wait, is this about my Reddit account? Call it!"
I'm about to go full fucking Tim Allen. And not the making a terrible, like, show after the fact that doesn't live up nearly as well to the original. Is that what you call your godless coven? No, it's what we call Reddit.
I mean, technically, Reddit is a godless coven.
No, there's r/Christian memes.
Ew.
Or r/dank Christian memes. Some of those are actually wholesome. Dumbledore queried knowingly. Well, yes, I have indeed seen your so-called Reddit account. I am, in fact, quite the Redditor myself. And just try to deny your hatred of Christianity when you post things like Christians all sucks. Turning Ichi-Tan into a tea kettle. Their religion is so stupid it should be illegal. I will write to Congress and tell them to make a law. Oh, that's a lot of blood.
Harry Potter laughed intelligently. How does someone laugh intelligently? Like, haha, I'm smart.
Probably by not doing what I just did.
Because Voldemort did not even understand proper spelling and grammar.
Woo! This turned into quite the fucking trip.
I think they're gonna be jealous they missed this.
That was a joke. Voldemort retorted unintelligently. The whole account is a joke. I mean, Voldemort, the righteous skeptic. He laughed with the nervousness of one who knows he is damned. Of course you're not supposed to take it seriously.
Oh, God.
Oh, gods. Ah, geez, Rick. Are you sure this is the right idea?
Yes.
Shut up, Morty.
Do you do you think religion is a laughing matter, young man? Dumbledore demanded righteously. Well, it's not. What sort of of a joke is trying to outlaw religion?
I'm not sure you can do that through a Reddit post.
Right?
Of course I don't actually want to outlaw religion. Voldemort uttered deceptively. That would be ridiculous. I just got ignored by all the ridiculous straw man some Christians have made out of atheism. So, whenever I see someone ranting about how depraved and evil we non-believers are, I respond with something like that. You know, taking that stereotype to an extreme to point out how ridiculous it is. Oh my god.
So an intelligent man.
This is the most obvious, like, admission of trolling I've ever seen. Like, from the writer. Holy shit.
Yeah, oh my god.
Because, like, up till now, it was pretty, like, close to, like, what a lot of, like, the different, like, fundamental Christians you'll see online would say and stuff like that. And then you have that sentence.
Oh, okay. Also, a small but vocal minority of atheists exists that stereotypes and mocks anyone who disagrees with them. They can just be just as hateful as people think we all are. And that does real damage. They bug me as much as the straw man arguments do. And they give those arguments credibility. So I do the same thing to them, replying with an extreme version of what they said to highlight the absurdity of it. So a really smart, not brainwashed man. Okay, I like Voldemort now.
So you're making fun of atheism? Dumbledore interrogated shrewdly.
God. No, I am an atheist, Voldemort explained sinfully. How is that sinfully? Like, whatever. I'm just...
Oh. Holy shit. I'm wondering, like, how many people had been following this because they were, like, some form of Christian. Like, yes, I can show this to my children. And then this chapter happened. I need to know how many people got fooled. Oh. Just as I thought, Dumbledore surmised wisely. And he smiled holily in satisfaction that the Lord had worked through him. We have been preparing for this day, and we have been preparing for it a long time. Students?
The little holy one stood at attention.
Convert him!
Yep, this sounds very accurate.
Dumbledore commanded bravely, and all at once the students began to shout.
You have been tricked by the lies of society, Harry shrieked knowingly.
We live in a society.
Burn in hell. Deserve to burn in hell. Yes, Harry, because that is so Christian-like of you.
Come over here. Thomas screeched articulately. Debate me on religion.
Oh God.
Holy shit. You okay?
Okay.
Oh.
I was more trying to make sure that you were okay. Those noises you made were very concerning. Anyways, I'm a Griffin. No, wait, no, it's not me. So
Hermione.
upset that you just don't accept the Bible, Hermione sobbed femininely. The Bible is the best book ever. Why can't you just respect that? Boo-hoo-hoo.
This last chapter is a fucking trip. Of all the things I expected, it wasn't this. Oh, I'm a Gryffindor hat now, Draco yelled boldly with the inspiring zeal that so many newcomers to the faith have. Do you hate me now? I bet you do. Don't, Dad, open inside.
Don't. Voldemort covered his ears with the discomfort that heathens often find themselves with when they are confronted with the truth, and he shouted loudly to drown out the word of the Lord. You've been preparing to do this? To scream at me?
This is what you've been preparing to do? This is weird.
From what I've understood, that's pretty much how like most Christians think. Like those overly zealous Christians think that they can like
zealous ones,
win their little arguments is by like screaming. I mean, you've seen the videos of like Westboro and all the people who like hang out outside of Planned Parenthood, like baby killer. Sure,
I'm like that. It's just oh my god. It's funny to me, and just because of the disconnect between the writing and between the narrative and the dialogue is fucking hilarious to me. It is like peak unreliable narrator.
Yep. Oh.
Like intentionally done. Like very much intentional. It's not like where you have like bad writing and so you just can't trust the narration. It is the work of the Lord, Dumbledore explained accurately.
No.
This fucking liar.
Aren't there better ways to spend your time than preaching to a bored idiot who makes fun of people on the internet? Voldemort questioned hedonistically. Okay, honey, do you even understand what a hedonist is?
Again, it's fucking... It's that intentional disconnect.
Because, like,
this
literally...
whole thing of him just saying normal shit and then like, giving the whole thing of sinfully or hedonistically and shit like that.
Like, literally, hedonism is just people
hedonism.
who are, like, it's just, like... It's basically a thought process that says, like, seeking pleasure and avoiding suffering are the only components of well-being. Like, take care of yourself and take care of others. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things of this is, like, peak intentional, unreliable narrator, and I want to know how many people didn't realize this was, like, satire until this chapter.
God.
Because as soon as Voldemort started speaking...
We knew.
Yeah, it became obvious.
So it is okay. Here we go. Your lord seemed to be pretty concerned about helping the people around him. Is that not his work anymore?
Whoa!
Oh.
Oh, heavens. How can we focus on helping people when there are people like you trying to destroy us? Dumbledore countered astutely. Whoa. Oh boy. Fucking hell.
Okay. God. So,
Like that
I told
fucking, like, veneer of this possibly being, like, legitimate just, like, got ripped away in, like, the most dramatic way possible. Sorry.
I've told you before. The Reddit account is a joke. Voldemort whined pathetically, but the Reverend shook his head.
Ay. I thought that might be so at first, the Reverend commented fairly, but it was just too realistic. Is
So
this a comment
realistic.
on the fanfiction?
Yep.
What the hell?
How is it realistic? Voldemort inquired uninformedly. It wasn't even subtle. I waxed poetic about the sexiness of neckbeards and said that Christopher Hitchens has superpowers. Superpowers. It was supposed to be funny. How can you take it seriously?
Dumbledore scoffed and he replied faithfully, like it or not, your little joke is what most atheists are like today.
That was the
Only if you're going on r/faces of atheism. Holy shit.
joke. Okay. Alright. So my Reddit account solidified your conception of atheist as a bunch of anti-Christian bigots who are just angry at God. Voldemort solicited stupidly, and then he sighed. Okay, you know what? This has gone too far. I'm sure that most people can tell I'm not being serious, but if I'm contributing to misinformation and stereotypes, I don't feel comfortable continuing this.
Holy shit. Voldemort pulled an iPhone out of his pocket and began to type on it. After a few minutes, he showed the screen to Dumbledore. See this? I just made a post. I am a troll. It is the last post I will make on that account. Are you happy?
Dumbledore virtuously ignored the heretic, and he turned to the little ones standing behind his protection. Students of Hogwarts. This fool will not listen to reason. Let's save this heathen's soul.
All the little ones got down on their knees and they raised their hands to the sky and they screamed to the heavens in voices of those who knew that they were doing great work. Lord, please make Voldemort a Gryffindor hat.
Voldemort sighed wickedly, and he shook his head godlessly. And then he walked away depravedly. But even as the fornicating, drug-addicted evolutionist disappeared into the distance, the righteous little ones continued to pray. They knew that if they screamed loud enough, they could change the world. So that was Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracle.
Okay. Whoever was playing the character of Graysan, holy shit.
Like,
that fucking dick.
let me check something here. Let's see.
Again, I think people should have been tipped off when they noticed that the username was Proud Housewife.
I just check the user, uh, the the user account, and this is literally the only story they have written.
Yeah, it's just this. From somewhere in the U.S., according to that flag. Which, of course,
Oh my
this
god,
was...
I'm reading all the reviews for this, and I love it.
Oh, I'm like 80% sure
Like,
this is a troll. The last chapter made it go. The last chapter made it obvious. Had me in the first half, though, not gonna
like,
lie. That's from 6 hours ago.
home, yeah, from 6 hours ago.
10 hours ago.
Somebody,
What the fuck? I read the books in 2nd grade, and here I am, a 6th grader, whose most magic thing she's done is read Hunger Games without crying. Magic isn't real, and letting kids play with sticks, saying bad Latin translation is no harms. This is nothing like Harry Potter. The whole point is that the Dursleys were abusive/negative. If you're gonna write something that hangs to zero with the canon rules, use different names. Oh, you poor, poor child. Please let it be satire. Please let it be satire. Please let it be satire. Ah. This is a satirical work of genius, or at least I think. I hope it's satire. It's... Okay, if you got to that last chapter and you weren't like, oh, this is satire. Oh boy.
so,
There are
okay,
a few things
here
that
we
make it
go.
pretty obvious. One
Oh
of them
my
is the
god.
running joke. One of them is the running joke involving the one kid, Duncan Thomas.
Dean?
I forgot his first name. Dean. Right.
Okay, so,
The
oh my
running
god,
joke involving Dean Thomas makes it obvious.
yeah. So, here's a review by someone with the username Skystrike. I know this book hasn't been updated for 5 years now, but honestly, I need to get this off my chest. You are not some holy Christian warrior mom, but a religious
Oh
nut
my
who would happily
god.
butcher a book series because it does not
Oh my,
coincide with your religious views and
oh my
morals.
god.
I doubt you even read the whole series, since you seem to think by reading Harry Potter your kids will suddenly become wizards and witches, and in your case is a big no-no. I consider myself a casual reader of the Harry Potter series, but even I am horrified as to how much you have altered to match your definition of family friendly. There are so many deviations from canon that doesn't even make sense. The Dursley family being Christian and nice to Harry. First, it is an outright shown to us from the first book that they have neglected Harry and even abused him, and we're happy to be rid of him. Second, I doubt that Vernon would be Christian, since he vehemently hates anything abnormal with a burning passion, and I doubt praying to an omnipotent and omniscient entity would be considered normal to him. In fact, I think he would be an atheist. This is just one of the many deviations I cannot give leeway for. You also bash on other religions and beliefs in your writing. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions and views, but you do not get to attack others just because their beliefs do not match with yours. I hope in good conscience you change for the better. Holy
Sky Strike, I
shit.
have something to tell you. 1, the Dursleys in this were not Christian. 2, okay, 2, deviations from the canon in regards to fanfiction don't actually matter, honestly. I'd say that more importantly would be, understanding the source material rather than adhering to the canonicity of it, which that's not something that necessarily comes through in fanfiction. Third, how did you not notice?
Okay, here we go. Here's another review from Anonymous, and I think this is being a troll, and I love it. It goes, I've converted to Christianity after leaving Catholicism for Reddit and Witchcraft. This work has shown me my wrongs and inspiring pietistic children that I must have. Thank you for your work, Mommy Grace.
Okay, so this person at least understands. As does likely the people saying, God bless you, Anne Grace, and bless your soul. Dear Anne Grace, never write again. All your sentences were either badly worded, grammatically incorrect, or just bad. Not really, no. Actually, the grammar was actually pretty solid. I don't think even Jesus would have liked this. I think he would prefer for your children to have all read the original and turns the witch is sincerely a bad bitch. Oh my god, the person I'm
I love this. Thank you for this amazing story. I will spread the words of God with all my friends and their children. I used to be a horrific Satanist, and I just wanted to read this as a joke, but you have converted me to the word of Jesus Christ, so thank you.
I love. I can't tell which is my favorite. The people that are in on the joke or the people who don't understand the joke. How are this many people unable to tell obvious satire? Again, even if you haven't gotten to the last chapter, anytime Dean Thomas speaks, it kind of becomes obvious because every time it makes a point to point out that he did so intelligently.
Oh, so intelligently.
Which is Alright, so that's the end of that. Please, give the writer support. This is... Oh boy. This has been one of the most, amazing things I've ever sat through. My soul has been saved. A special thank you to Summer Moon Soldier. I apologize for getting the name wrong for the past few weeks. My dyslexia switched the M to a W and just remembered that there were 2 O's. As well as Destiny Baird for supporting us on Patreon. If you like what we do, then consider going to the link to the description to our Patreon and donating any amount of money that you want to. And even if you like what we do, you don't have to do that. It's entirely up to you. Freedom of choice. You do you, boo-boo. But, yeah. Holy shit, that...
Oh.
Whoa! Cool.